The one main wonderful thing about being a human being is that we all have the ability to speak and communicate in ways that the rest of the animals in this animal kingdom don't. Okay, they manage to communicate with each other by use of sounds and motions, but we can get words and points across like no other. So, with that said, why oh why do people not listen? Let's take into account the recent patch that happened earlier this week. A bunch of stuff that needed not to be messed with and meddled suddenly comes to light that it's decided it does. For example, who depicted that the select fire attachment needed to be nerfed? Why did they feel that the target finder needed a buff? We're not getting our point across. Day upon day people are making requests and nothing is acted upon. Now we all know that Mr. Vonderhaar has got a very strange love affair with Optic, and marginally it is mostly due to the league play tournaments, etc, etc. But for God's sake, look at this gameplay. There is no way on God's earth I should be able to run around and dominate a free-for-all match with a secondary pistol. The B23R, it's like a mini M8, except for it does even better. It fires at a faster rate, and it's easier to carry and manoeuvre. Put a laser sight on it, and the hipfire accuracy is awesome. Put the extended mags on, and you've got plenty of bullets to play around with. This is my opinion. This is the opinion of a lot of people who share this notion with me. This is a problem that could be sorted in one very small hotfix. But why isn't it? Why do they decide that they don't want to listen to us? Now the B23R is my problem, but I know a lot of people have other problems. The snipers have issues with submachine guns, but it's also fair to say that the submachine gunners have issues with snipers. I completely understand that you're not going to please everybody. If there was one decision that could be made that could make everybody happy, there'd be no wars, no famine, no misery, no rape, no murder. But when it comes down to a few clicks of a button just to change one slight thing, why can't they do it? Another problem I have, which will be shown in this gameplay, shock charge next to a bouncing Betty. Somebody made a video somewhere down the line, and people decided that they're going to do it as a way to snare people as they walk around corners. The only problem is, very effective, but very annoying. Why is it there? Click a couple of buttons and make it so that if you put a shock charge near to a bouncing Betty, it's null and void, it detonates. So you have to keep them at a certain distance, therefore keeping a relative amount of peace. I'm aware of the fact that after this video there's going to be a lot of clicks of dislikes. I understand that. I've always made the point clear, I don't mind having a debate, that's why we have a mouth. But this is my issue, this is the issue I want to put across. And I know nobody's going to listen and people say, "No, shut up, stop complaining, can't you just get on with it?" No, because if we all just paid lip service to the problems, then they would just get away with it. And then when the next instalment of Call of Duty comes out, they would feel there was never a problem and continue along. Unfortunately, my feeling is that Treyarch have taken one step forward, two steps back. In Black Ops 1, they got the balance right. Modern Warfare 2, as we all know, had overpowered secondaries. Now, I hold my hands up, I was a lover of the Spaz 12 and the Akimbo 1887s, and they weren't to everybody's taste, particularly the people on the receiving end. But what they managed to do in Black Ops 1 was take the secondaries, make them be used in an absolute necessary emergency. The only time the pistol became overpowered was in Second Chance. Then it all of a sudden turned into a handheld FAL. Listen, I'm not trying to preach. All I'm doing is just telling you what I think. And I understand that you guys have got opinions as well. I always listen to everybody's comments and answer as many as I possibly can when I get time. So, what are your opinions? What would you like to see nerfed on the next patch? Maybe you feel the Remington shotgun still needs taking down a peg or two, or maybe you think the snipers are just too overpowered. Or then again, maybe they haven't done enough to the submachine guns. All I'm saying is, it doesn't seem to me as these people play their own game. Like I said, Akimbo 1887s, if you can remember that far back, in week 1, they were devastating. They were the most overpowered thing that any Call of Duty has seen. In week 2, they were fixed. Why do we have to wait once a month just to be disappointed by the decisions that they've made? I know the only people that do say just shut up are the ones that use these things, and that's fine. Nobody's moaning at you, nobody's complaining that you exploit a default in the system. Wherever there is a fault, there's exploitation. That's just human nature, that's what we do. But on top of everything else, wouldn't it be nice just for something to run smoothly? not to feel like you're getting cheated out of everything. How is it fair that I am running a free-for-all game with a secondary, dominating? I'm sorry this has just been a complaint fest, guys, but sometimes you feel like you need to vent your spleen. Get your opinion across and get the opinions of other people. So, what guns get your goat? What are you sick and tired of getting owned by every single time you come into contact? Maybe it's a piece of equipment. Anyway, let me know, guys. Next week, hopefully something a little more light-hearted. Apocalypse and the B23R done.